Look, see how this how lives work. I went live and forgot to unmute myself. So let's start this over. Hey, kings and queens, Tandra Fenwick, your mortgage consultant here. Today I'm going live by myself, no guest today, because I wanted to go over the application process. Now, I get a lot of the same questions, so I figured I'd do a video. I'll do a video for you guys live today, and I'll do a video. That I can send my clients if they want to look at it in the future, and it will answer any questions that they may have about the application process. Now, our application is pretty seamless. It's online. Everything could be done online. That's why I love being a lender and opposed to a real estate agent because I can work from anywhere in the world because everything is done electronically nowadays. So we don't have to meet in person, but we can definitely meet in person. I have no qualms with that. I've had clients that say, I feel more comfortable meeting you at your office and I'll bring you my documents. So that has happened on several occasions. It's mostly my older clientele that isn't really tech savvy. So they request to come in the office and meet. So we have all the things in our office, right? We have the scanner, the printer, all of that stuff. We have a laptop that you can sit down and log into your accounts and download your documents. So that is definitely an option. So I am not opposed to that. But if you want things to get done quickly, then it's always advantageous for you to go online and do it. Now, when you are ready mentally and you say, I am ready to get a mortgage loan, I'm ready to buy a house, right? Your first step in that process is getting pre approved. And in the pre approval process, we look at your application as if we're underwriters, right? So we need a full pre approval. I've said before, there's a difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qual. Now, when you're going out looking at houses, your real estate agent is going to ask you, have you been pre-approved before they even take you out? So you always want to call your lender, start the application process first, and get pre-approved. Now, this video is just to walk you through the application process and the underwriting process. It's not necessarily to walk you through the parameters. Now, being a broker that Mortgage Experts is, we have access to thousands of different products. So it's not a cookie cutter. You need to have this. It needs to be at least this. You need to make a list of this. Everybody's situation is different. People make different kinds of money. They work different kinds of jobs. You may be self-employed. You may be a contractor. You may have a W-2 job. So to sit and go over all of the qualifications is kind of hard because there are different qualifications for different types of loan programs, right? A program is your FHA, your VA, your USDA, your non-QM program. So we do bank statement loans, 1099 only loans, one day out of bankruptcy, one day out of foreclosure. We have all different types of loans, commercial loans, investment loans. We have it here at Mortgage Experts. So this particular application that I'm going to walk you through is more based upon if you're buying your residential property, but you're going to fill it out regardless, and you'll see that the questions are going to change based upon how you answer your questions. The documents that we're going to request is going to change based upon how you answer these questions going through the steps, right? So when you're ready, you call me and say, Sandra, I'm ready. I saw a house that I love, or I'm ready to get into the housing market. I'm ready to move and I want to buy. Okay. I'm going to tell you to go to www.approvemesandra.com. www.approvemesandra.com. And it is going to take you to this page. Okay. You see this page? This is the page you're going to get when you go to approvemesandra.com. Now, I'm going to push myself in the background, and we're going to walk through this. So, all right, there we go. So, This is the page you're going to be at. Welcome to Mortgage Experts. You see my picture up there looking all cute up in the corner. That's me. You're going to say, they're going to say if you already have an account or you want to start a new application. All right, so I'm going to have to change over to this. All right, so we're going to do this just for practices, and I'll go in and delete this application later. I'm going to say my name is Sandra. Now, guys, bear with me. I just recently transitioned from a PC to a Mac, and yeah, it's a learning curve, a huge learning curve. So, but people keep saying, "Oh, get you a Mac. They last longer. They're better." So I'm gonna put my last name as Brown. I wanted to put Elba, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to cause no trouble in the Elba household. Idris is my husband in my head, but I know he's already married. So I'm gonna just put Sandra Brown and put my real email address on here so I can go and get the notification. So if anybody needs to email me, my email address is sfenwick@usamortgageexperts.com. And I'm going to choose my password. And we're going to create, I'm not a robot. We're going to create an account. You see how easy that was? So we'll save it just for brains. So email authorization has been sent. So please resend recertification. Your verification email link with a secure link. And listen, I've done this before, but it was a while ago when I was going to buy my house like 3 years ago. So I'm just reading through it. You need to verify your account to start your loan application. All right. So let me go to my email, which you guys won't see on your end. All right. I am going to my email and I'm finding the verification link. All right. Verify your email address. Verify account. All right, it is loading. All right. Your email has been verified. Now let's see if we're going to go past this. All right, so let me share this tab instead. All right, I'm going to go back because I can't see what's on the screen right now. All right, I'm going to sign in. Come on. My bad. No thanks. As you guys can see, my computer is so slow. I don't know why. It's probably internet right now. Okay, so where are you in the application process? So they're going to say if you're just getting started, making offers, you found a house, the offer is pending. So I'm going to say just getting started. Where are you looking to purchase? We're going to say in 20774, Maryland. Update. All right, I want a single family home. What type of property are you seeking? Will this be your primary resident, investment, or second home? I might also operate my business here. So we're going to say this is going to be my primary residence. What's a comfortable monthly housing payment for you? I'm going to say $3,500 because I be balling. Are you currently working with a real estate agent? You can say yes or no. Usually, a lot of times my clients come already, I mean, they're referred by a real estate agent. So if you say yes, it's going to give you a list of agents. You type their name in. And so we're going to say no. What's the approximate price of the property you're looking at? Now, these numbers are not, um, you can put in whatever you want here because I'm going to change it. So right now I'm going to say 450,000. I don't know where that 15,000 comes from. So I'm going to say 450,000. That's like the average median house cost. How much do you have for down payment? Again, whatever number you put in here, I'll update it once I get your full application. So don't worry about this being too much. So your down payment source, where are you getting the money from to pay your down payment? So these are all of the options here that you can use. You cannot borrow money to put down on your house. So secured loan, I'm not sure why that's on it. But sometimes your down payment assistance can come in a form of loan and your house secures that. So maybe that's what that is about. Um, so we're going to say checking and savings. Or we're going to get a gift. Did you guys know that we're doing save and continue, that you can get a gift from a family member to purchase your house? They can give you 100% of the closing costs, the down payment assistance, and the closing costs. So keep that in mind if you guys have any, if you know your parents or your sister or brother is giving you the money to help you buy your house. And it has to be a gift. It cannot be a loan. So I'm going to say Sandra Brown is my name. If you have alternate names, like let's say you just got married and you're changing your name, then, or you just changed your name, check that box. Nickname, that's just with anything you've gotten a loan from. So, there may be some people named Rashida that may go by Sheeta, and they may have borrowed money or had loans in their nickname. So you would want to put that there. Please fill out your contact information. You guys know my contact information is 301 965 1155. And my work phone is 301 341 2200. That is the number to the mortgage expert's office. And the home phone is if you still have a landline. I don't know who still does, but that's for. Where do you currently live? So I live on 123 Main Street in Annapolis, Maryland. Let's say that. All right, update. My mailing address is the same. If you have a different address that you want to get your mail at, of course, uncheck that and it's going to have you put your mailing address in. Do you own this property or do you rent? I currently rent. My rent is currently $2,500 a month. How long have you lived there? Now you have to give us a minimum of a 2-year work history. To 2-year work history. So I'm sorry, I got a call, I got distracted. So I'm gonna say a 2-year history for your address. If you live there for less than 6 months, it's just gonna less than 2 years, it's gonna give you another box to put in your previous address. And it'll keep doing that until you have a 2-year history. So I'm gonna say, for the sake of time, I've been there 2 years and 4 months. Are you currently active in the military or a veteran? Now, we do VA loans. VA loans is one of my favorite loans to do. It's a 100% loan, and if you are an active in the military or veteran, then that's going to trigger the system to ask you for your DD 214 or your certificate of eligibility. And those of you who are in the military, you know what that is. So I'm going to say no. What's your residency type? I'm going to be a U.S. citizen. And are you married, unmarried, separated? And I'm going to say I'm married to Mr. Brown. Do you have any dependents? So if you have dependents, you say yes. They're going to say how many? So I'm going to say two. And my children are 5 and 11. So that's how you do that. Next, is there a co-borrower? Is the co-borrower. So we're going to do save and continue. I'm getting this loan by myself. My husband don't have to go on this because we're keeping his credit free to be able to buy some other stuff. All right. So I'm going to do this on my own. But if there's a co-borrower, then you're going to go through that process. Sorry, sipping some tea. You're going to go through that process to add your co-borrower. So I'm going to say I'm applying solely. So next we're going to go to the income. So you're going to add all those questions we just asked for ourselves. It's going to ask you for your co-borrower. So if you had a co-borrower, these pages are going to say your name to put in your stuff, and then it's going to say their name on the next step. So that's how you know not to get the things mixed up. So I'm going to say I got some employment income. I'm employed by a company. So here's your employer name. I work for Mortgage Experts. Mortgage Experts. I am a senior loan consultant. And I started in February of 2016. Yeah, it's been a long time. So we're going to say February the 1st since that starts on Monday. Now, again, we're going to do verification of employment, all that stuff. Please make sure you put these dates in because you know why? You need a 2-year work history. So if you just started your job 6 months ago, you put the exact date. The day itself is not really that important, but the month and the year is very, very important. All right, we're going to put the work phone 301-965-1155. And our office address is 9500 Medical Center Drive in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. We're in Suite 102 if you guys ever need to come to the office. Update. Time spent there. So 2016 is 2025. We're going to say 9 years and 2 months. All right. So I'm on a salary just for this. I'm going to say I make $275,000 per year. Because I'm a boss. So commissions. So if you get bonuses, if you get commissions, if you do overtime. Now let's touch on that just a little bit because these things are important. A bonus, commission, overtime, and I'm gonna come back here. That is sharing your screen again. I hope you guys have been able to hear me all this time. I came back because I can't see the main screen. Hold on, let me see something real quick. I'm going to go on Facebook and make sure that my audio is still here. The live video should be on Facebook. Hello. Live video should be on Facebook. All right. Can you guys still hear me? Live video should be on Facebook. All right. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. So it looks like it's working on my end. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened or when I lost audio because I'm just running my mouth. And when I'm on this screen, I can't see the main screen of myself. So let's go back to the salaries, right? So if you get bonuses, you get commission, you get overtime, you get any other money from your W-2 job, then you have to have a 2-year history of that income. So we cannot use it if you have not had it consecutively for 2 years. So what we usually do is ask for your year-end pay stub. You know how at the end it says year to date, and we average out your how much of that bonus, commission, overtime that you've made at the end of the last 2 years, and then we average it out over the 2 years, and that's how much we can use. You feel free to guesstimate what you want to put on this page. But again, if you don't have a 2-year history of it, we cannot use it. That also goes for second jobs. If you work 2 jobs, and we have to have a history of the 2 jobs, okay? Or a 2-year history. So that means you would have to have been working both jobs consecutively for 2 years for us to use both incomes. Sorry, that's my work phone ringing. I usually put that on Do Not Disturb. Okay, so let's go back to the application. So for sake of time, I know I've been on here for 20 minutes. We're going to say, no, we're not going to put anything, seasonal income, all of that. You got to have a 2-year history. All right, let's save. So going through this, I like going through this process because, I make $22,000 a month. Hey. All right, let's go to assets. So because I have a 2-year history, I only have to put that one job. But remember, if you were working on that job for less than 2 years, then you have to put all of your history until you have a 2-year history. The myth and when you're buying a house is that you have to be on the same job for 2 years. No, you just need to have been working for the last 2 years, and we'll get that information from you. All right. Assets is a huge thing because a lot of people are like, well, give me your retirement statement. Give me your, oh, why I got to give you all that? Why? Da, 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 da. Assets look amazing on your application. It looks like you're responsible and it shows that you have money that we call reserves, that just in case you lose your job or lose your income, you disabled for a while, you have money to fall back on. So that's why it's important. Any assets that you can think of, please put it on here. So right now I'm gonna say I have $6,500 in my checking account. And you can put in the institution. I'll say Navy Fed, Navy FCU. And you can put in your account number. That's not necessary really if you're trying to rush through this because I'll put it in later. So let's add a savings account. Let's add a money market account. That gives you more interest. I'm gonna say in my money market account, I got $56,000. So that's gonna be at Navy FCU, and you can put the account number if you want. Save. And then we're gonna say I have stock options that's worth about $46,000. So whatever you put here, maybe FCU, whatever you put here, you have to show us statements for it. So you can't just put a random thing in and can't show us statements. We have to have statements. So I'm gonna say I have a cash value life insurance. People don't know that you could use that. My life insurance is worth 600. No, we're gonna say 1 million. All right. And that is with Fidelity. All right. The face amount is 500,000. All right. We're going to say save. And then we're also going to add our retirement account. Retirement. Where's my? And gift of equity is if your parents are gifting you or if you're getting gift funds from friend or family member to take care of some of your stuff, then you put gift cash in there. Cash on hand is kind of tricky because we have to be able to verify that cash. So I would talk to your advisor about that. Oh, retirement. So I'm gonna say I have 76,000 in my retirement with Fidelity. All right, save. So that's enough assets. Look, I got a total of $1.1 million assets. You're gonna get approved for this loan with all those assets. But if you don't have those assets, that is fine. But whatever you put here, we're gonna need to see your statements for that. Okay, and let's go on. Do you own any real estate? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna be a first-time home buyer. And save and continue. Next is your declaration. These are important because the underwriter is going to look at this. I had people accidentally answer yes to some questions they shouldn't have, and we had to write a letter to explain everything. Will you occupy the property as your primary residence? Yes, very important. Have you had an ownership interest in another property in the last 3 years? This is what determines if you're a first time home buyer. First time home buyer doesn't mean this is your first home ever. It means that you have not owned a home in the last 3 years. So I'm going to say no. That makes me a first time home buyer. If this purchase transaction, if this is, do you have a family relationship or business affiliation with the seller? That's important. Yes or no? No. Are you borrowing any money for this real estate transaction? So you cannot borrow money to buy a house. You cannot. They don't want you to have more loans. But again, you can borrow down payment assistance money from an actual bank that does the loans. So we're going to say no for this. Have you or will you be applying for a mortgage loan on another property, not the property securing this loan? That's important. You can't be buying two houses at the same time. That's a conflict. So say no. Have you or will you be applying for any new credit installment loans? That is a huge no, 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 no. Don't do that, please. So we're going to say no. Will this property be subject to a lien? Is anybody trying to sue you? Do you own any mechanics liens, any liens for taxes or anything like that? Will this property become a part of a lien? I'm going to say no. Are you a co-signer or guarantor on any debt that's not disclosed in this application? No. Are there any outstanding judgments? That means you went to court, you lost the case, and now you have a judgment on your credit. You owe somebody money. Because when you got a judgment, they can put a lien on your house. No. Are you currently delinquent or in default on federal debt? No. That includes federal student loans too. So if you are in default with your student loans, you need to handle that, get that out of default as soon as possible before you apply for a house. Are you a party to a lawsuit in which you potentially have a personal financial liability? No. Have you conveyed title? So you see the bank is trying to cover their asset because they want to be the first person, if you default, to get their house back from you. So these are important. Have you conveyed title to any property in lieu of foreclosure in the past 7 years? No. You can buy a house if you have had a foreclosure, but you have to wait 2 years, maybe 2 years or 3 years. One of them, short sale. I can confirm that later. Short sale and foreclosure. The past 7 years, have you completed a pre-foreclosure or short sale? Here we go. No, I have not. I'm a first-time home buyer. Have you had a property foreclosed upon in the last 7 years? No. Do not let this discourage you if you have, as long as it's been 2 to 3 years. Yeah, it's 3 years on a short sale or foreclosure, and then it's 2 years if you file bankruptcy. So we're going to say no on this. They just want to know. If it's been over 2, 3 years for those two things, then you're good. Save and continue. So we're close to the end of the process. So you can fill out this is for them to have the stats. How many of these different people, and when you see those stats, okay, 50% of Black Americans own a house, and then 75% of white own. They take this data from these applications, and and that's what they use to come up with those stats. Next is credit. So we are We're not none any of these, not Hispanic. All right, save and continue. All right, date of birth, age, social security number, confirm your social security number, and what's your estimated credit score. I'm not going to put in these things because we're at the end of this and we're almost running out of time. My birthday is September 20th, and in this imaginary world, I was born in 1995. Ooh, social security number 123 123 45678 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And save and continue. All right. Are you disputing any items on your that is important. You have to take anything out of dispute before you get a loan. Anything out of dispute that the balance is more than $1,000. So you have to take it out of dispute. All right. So now we're going to review our answers and we're going to submit, proceed, and consent. Uh, this is an advertisement. Please, if anything we should know about your financial situation, please explain it here. Oh, I filed bankruptcy 2 years ago. I did da, 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 da. We're going to get that note, and we know how to look at your property. Don't worry about it. I'm still going to have a full conversation with you as I'm going through your application anyway, but put it there. I, Sandra Brown, I agree, I'm authorizing, and I'm submitting my application. Y'all see, this took me longer because I'm sitting here explaining it step by step. Once this happens, you're going to get an email asking you to upload documents, and the documents are generated based upon how you answer these questions. So we've been on for 32 minutes. I wanted to, oh, here it is. It came up. Let's go back. So this is where you will upload credit reports. Let's go over that really, really quickly. You have to pay for your credit report, right? With us. Some agencies do it. Just know you're paying for your credit report either way. At the end of the process, for people who say they'll run your credit for free, they're charging you usually an application fee, and you have to pay that at closing. It usually is double the amount of what you would pay up front. So for us, because this is an expense, we pull this credit report from a third-party vendor, and we have to pay them for it. You pay them for it. So you would see it on your credit card statement as Credit Technologies. It's not going to me. I don't get your $86. It is $86 per person. So please keep that in mind. You have to pay for your credit report. And we're a little bit, I like to stay in a 30-minute time frame on this. So we're at 33 minutes. So really quickly, I said I was going to go over the underwriting process. We did this in 30 minutes, right? So it doesn't take you long to apply for property or a mortgage. Once you, everything, all of those documents that we're asking you for, these are all, they're stuff that's online, right? So you usually have an employee portal at your job where you can download your W-2s, you can download your last 2 pay stubs. Everything is laid out there for you. You can log on to irs.gov and get your tax transcripts. We prefer the 1040 form for your federal taxes. We do not need to see your state, only your federal taxes. And then all of your bank statements. Every bank has an online portal. A lot of them don't even send statements out in the mail anymore. But I did do a video on my YouTube channel about how to use Adobe Scan. Adobe Scan is a free app that you can put on your cell phone that allows you to point your camera at your documents and scan them into a PDF form. When I use this for every important document I get, even if I'm not applying for anything, if something important comes in the mail or I get it from somewhere, I go immediately and scan it into my Adobe account, and it's held in the cloud, so you have it. So if you say I'm applying for a loan, go into your cloud, download it, boom, upload it here, and it's done. So everything is electronic nowadays. So it shouldn't be a problem with you quickly getting your documents. Like I said, if you're in the process and you're thinking, I'm going to apply for a loan soon, then start downloading that stuff. Start scanning in all your pay stubs every time you get paid. So you will have that stuff readily available and you save it in one folder on your computer. And then when you're ready and you get to this page, then you can upload it easily. Okay. So once I get all of these documents, I will review your file. It takes me anywhere from 24 to 72 hours to issue you a pre-approval letter. It's usually 24 hours for me, depending on how busy my workload is and what we need in addition to something. I may see something in the bank statement and say, hey, we need to, again, I'm looking at this application as if I am an underwriter. If I see some large deposits that are unaccounted for, I'm going to say, hey, what was this deposit that was made on such and such date on your bank statement? You say, oh, it was a bonus check I got from your job. Can you please send me the pay stub for that? Or can you send me the canceled check? So I'll collect all that stuff. That's how I close loans in 3 days and 11 days and 7 days because I'm underwriting your file at the beginning and collecting everything I possibly could that I think an underwriter is going to ask for at the beginning of this process. And I am putting it on your file. Everything here is located on your file. Everything you upload is in your file. So when we get ready to send this stuff to the underwriters, we have everything packaged in one place. So it's a very easy process. It's not something for you to be afraid of. If you get to this point, you can watch this video or you can call me. Text me. Hey, I don't understand this question. I'm always open to that. Please give me a call if you have questions about this application process. It is very, very seamless. So, it's about to time me out. Continue. So just know that, I'm the lender that if you have questions about the application process, the documents, how to get that, I got you. Let's go quickly about the underwriting process. Once we do this, I issue your pre-approval. You go out with your realtor and you find a house. You and the realtor are going to write an offer on the house that you love so much. Once that listing agent accepts your offer, then we are what we call ratified, right? Both you and the sellers have signed all of the documents in that contract. That ratified contract comes to me, and then I submit it to the underwriting process. So the underwriting process goes as such. We package everything up, we send it, we send you a loan estimate. The loan estimate will have a breakdown of all your closing costs, your down payment, estimated numbers based upon where we are in this process. Once you get that loan estimate, you're going to get some disclosures, Maryland state disclosures, federal disclosures, everything that's disclosing this process and disclosing what you're getting into. This could be an 80 to 100 page document. You're going to carefully read through all of those disclosures and you're going to sign saying you agree to them. Or some of them you sign to say you read it and you understood it. May not necessarily agree. All right. So at the end of this process, you can't say, oh, I didn't know. You signed those disclosures. You're going to get your disclosures. You sign your disclosures. We are going to order your appraisal. The appraisal is anywhere from $600 to $800, depending on the bank that we're using. We're going to say, give me your credit card. We got this credit card you put on file to order your credit report. Can I use this credit card to order your appraisal? We order the appraisal, right? And then throughout the process, your file is submitted to the underwriter. The underwriter say your file is approved with conditions. We already addressed a lot of the conditions that are going to come up. So they're going to send us a list of things that they still need. My processor and my loan coordinator are going to work with you to get those documents in as quickly as possible. If you want to close your loan quick, the process can take up to 30 days. But again, my last loan I closed in 11 days. The one before that I closed in 6 days because we had already addressed what we knew the underwriters was going to ask for. And then, so if you want to get it closed quickly and you want to hurry up and buy your house and get into it, then please send those documents to them as quickly as possible. And then the underwriters are going to review what you sent. So this whole process is going to go back and forth. The appraisal is going to be done. They're going to send the appraisal report. The appraisal report comes in and says, this is the value of this house. Sometimes the appraisal report will come subject to. If you're getting an FHA loan, conventional loan, any government loan, the appraiser has to look for hazards in that house. So if it's anything that look like you might hurt yourself, trip, fall, may cause a fire, the appraiser going to say this is the value subject to you fixing these things. And then we go back and we get those things taken care of. Most of the time, the seller is responsible because that's still their house. You don't own it yet, so they're responsible for getting that done. Once we get those repairs done, they come back to me. Sandra is finished. You will pay for a re-inspection. It's usually about $200. The appraiser is going to go out and re-inspect that house. If everything is done to their standard, their satisfaction, they sign off on it, send us the updated report, and then the appraisal is in. Throughout this process, we're going to follow the market and see where the interest rates are. Interest rates change every single day, sometimes 2, 3 times a day. So we're watching the activity in the market. We're trying to gauge we're trying to gauge, do we think the interest rates are going to go down? So you have the decision of when you want to lock your rate. I'll call you, hey, you want to lock your rate today? The rate is X, Y, and Z. You choose. Buy down, or you can buy down your interest rate, or you can go up and get a lender credit. And we'll do a whole nother video about that. Once your rate is locked, at the end of this process, the underwriters have signed off on all the conditions they asked for. The rate is locked. Your closing disclosure is going to go out. So the title company underwriters, they've all been updating these numbers as we go along. Once you lock your loan, the numbers may change because you may choose a different interest rate, or you may choose to buy down. A closing disclosure is going to come out. That's called your CD. That's at the end of the process. You have to sign that CD, and you have a 3-day cooling off period before we can close. Cooling off means you've seen these numbers, you thought about it, this is something you agree to, this is something you can afford to do, and they give you 3 days to sit on that and decide, if this is still something that you want to do. At the end of once the CD is gone out, you're waiting for the CD. Then, once the underwriter has checked off all of the conditions, sometimes the agents get conditions, the title companies get conditions, the insurance that you're going to use get conditions. Once all of that stuff is in and on their file, we are what? Clear to close. Once you get that clear to close, that means the process is just about done. The title company and the underwriters are going to settle the numbers. Okay, this matches this matches this, and then they're going to send you out a final closing disclosure that has your final cash to close, the money you have to bring to the table. And then we can usually schedule closing the following day. So that's how the process works. I've been on here for almost 45 minutes. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm very passionate about this. I hope you guys go on and watch it. Maybe not. But it's been a pleasure. I'm not going to hold y'all. Thank you for tuning in this Lunch and Learn Thursday. If you guys have any questions, 301-965-1155. Comment, DM, whatever you need. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye. All right. Keep that in the stream.